Today we're learning new information about the FBI's fight against domestic terrorism. There are new whistleblower documents that peel back the curtain a little bit to show us how the agency might identify people who they consider to be violent extremists. The documents just released and obtained by Project Veritas show symbols that the FBI associates with domestic terrorism. They also mention the Second Amendment, the Revolutionary War, the Betsy Ross flag. That's one of them. It does mention in that document that these are not to be considered evidence, but is this how they're really going to try to identify domestic terrorists? We'll see. Let's welcome in now senior contributor for American Greatness, Julie Kelly, for more on this. Always great to talk to you, Julie.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me on.
We're still working to independently verify the Project Veritas documents, but they look official. And, you know, the Betsy Ross flag, 13 stars for the original colonies in a circle. And if I'm flying that at my house, let's say on, I don't know, July 4th of all days, could I expect the FBI to come knocking on my door?
Look, I have seen this repeatedly, not just in court documents filed by this Justice Department, but also by federal judges who use any citation of 1776 as some sort of incriminating evidence against people who have been charged in this January 6th investigation. You have judges saying, you spoke of war, you spoke of the revolution, you used terms like 1776. I mean, since when is that a crime in America? I sat in a trial in May where prosecutors presented a Trump flag as evidence against a defendant. So I don't know if that specific document has been verified, but I can say that there is no doubt that this regime and federal judges consider a lot of those symbols and a lot of those words as some sort of crime. It's really crazy, but it's true.
Some of the other images that they talk about, the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag, the Liberty Tree, which is famous in Boston in 1765. There's, of course, that Come and Take It flag from Texas that dates back to the Battle of Gonzales when Texans were pushing back an invasion from the Mexican army. It also comes from the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC. Do you think the FBI is reaching a little bit here, Julie?
I think they are reaching, and unfortunately they can, because they have no one on this federal bench, especially the D.C. District Court judges, to hold them back and say, wait a second, why, if someone is talking about 1776 or using Don't Tread on Me or talking about the Revolutionary War, how is that evidence used against them? I've also seen this in the Whitmer, I call it Fednapping hoax.
Yeah.
Federal prosecutors also suggesting that any reference to the Tree of Liberty needs to be watered with the blood of patriots, things like that, also is some sort of crime. It's really miraculous to watch our government, especially this regime, turn on our founders, turn on our pride, what happened with the Revolutionary War, and now making it incriminating evidence against Americans.
You know, I hate to say this, but it sounds a lot like this ongoing effort to rewrite history, eliminate any aspects of traditional American culture in this country. You know, we also see, too, these whistleblower documents, and these have come to us from Congress, that shows that the administration is fudging the numbers when it comes to these domestic terror cases, specifically dealing with white supremacy. Jim Jordan wrote a letter to FBI Director for Christopher Wray and accuses the FBI brass of pressuring agents to reclassify cases as domestic violent extremism, even if the criteria isn't there. Julie, Wray is testifying before the House Judiciary Committee tomorrow. Do you think we'll actually learn anything about this or that document? We also put up there, people may have seen this, but Florida just released a new Gadsden flag license plate. So if I get that license plate, Julie, you know, again, am I going to get a visit from the FBI?
Well, obviously, it will make you a domestic violent extremist, so I would be careful about that. Look, I wrote about this as early as March of 2021. Avril Haines, who is the director of national intelligence, put out this really shoddy report claiming that domestic violent extremists posed a lethal, dangerous threat to the homeland. There was no evidence of it. It was basically a pamphlet. It had a picture of a sketch of the U.S. Capitol on it, so we know what she was signaling there. But I've looked deeply into whatever data the FBI claims to have. It just does not exist. And so now you see they're trying to pad the numbers to the extent that they can to create this illusion that domestic violent extremists, i.e. Trump supporters, are akin to Al-Qaeda and terrorists ready to strike at any moment. This is really dangerous territory for a number of reasons, and I do hope that Republican senators on the Judiciary Committee confront Christopher Wray, not just about that, targeting of Trump supporters under the January 6th investigation, and more importantly, what happened in the Whitmer kidnapping hoax that we now know was an FBI concocted entrapment scheme from beginning to end.
It stinks to high heavens. And Julie, anybody can do this themselves. The Christopher Wray hearings, when he was FBI director under President Trump, you can go back and watch those and listen to how he talks about domestic extremism then versus now. He never mentioned race before. He talked about it as being kind of a extreme right and extreme left kind of issue. Now the language has changed, and I imagine we'll see more of that tomorrow, but I know Jim Jordan and some of the other Republicans on the Judiciary Committee will try to hold his feet to the fire. Always great to see you, Julie, and always enjoy your reporting in American greatness. Thanks for your time.
Thanks. Have a good day. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. With inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates skyrocketing, your retirement plans are in danger. Well, our friends at American Hartford Gold can help show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Yeah. If you call them right now, they have a special offer. They will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order. So don't wait. Call now. Here's the number. 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309, or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532. Thank you.